What's up, everybody? Thanks for waiting. Thanks for coming. Let me start with this. Attendance tonight was 5,549. The gate was $569,000. And fight of the night, no question about that. Tate versus Zingano. The KO of the night was Brown. And the submission of the night is Pineda. $50,000 each for all of them. So before we get started, I'd like to call up Eric Shanks from Fox. He's the president of Fox Sports to say a few words.
Well, Dana mentioned it earlier tonight that The Ultimate Fighter Season 18 is going to premiere on Fox Sports 1, the new national sports network from Fox. 2 years ago, it was Dana and Lorenzo that really were the first guys to actually believe in the idea of Fox Sports 1. And when we did our deal, they believed in us that we would actually keep our word that at some point, all of the UFC programming would have one home at Fox. And these guys have killed it for us over the past year and a half. And then starting August 17th on Fox Sports 1, pretty much all of the UFC content that lives on the various Fox outlets will have a home on Fox Sports 1. It's going to anchor Wednesday nights on Fox. All of UFC will be in prime time, anchoring Wednesdays on Fox Sports 1, 52 weeks a year. So just want to say thanks to the UFC and to Dana and Lorenzo for believing in us, and congratulations to everybody tonight that put on a great night of fights. Thanks.
Any of you guys have any questions for Eric before he walks out? Figured. All right. Thanks, buddy. They don't ask a lot of questions around here. Any questions for anybody else?
We can start with Kelvin, please. Kelvin, obviously, emotional win for you tonight. Have you had a chance to let it soak in a little bit? Tell us how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, obviously, I'm excited and blessed to be in the position that I am now, man. I don't know. It's just very emotional, you know.
Understandable. Very, very close fight. Obviously, when the bell sounded, judge's decision was about to be read. How confident did you feel that you had won the fight?
I didn't know. In my head, I was just like, be prepared for anything. So, that's it.
And if I could ask Uriah briefly, obviously I know a tough loss for you tonight. I know you said all along that you weren't buying into the hype and you had to get this win and all that, but I mean, hands down, shuffling the feet a little bit. I mean, can you explain, were you showboating? I mean, did you kind of buy into the hype at all, or what happened in there?
No, I was trying to have some fun, man. I mean, a big part of it is kind of hard too, because I train with the guy and I like him, and it was kind of like that emotional side I was trying to get rid of. So it's kind of weird, and just going in the ring, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. And then that side just kind of got the best of me, but there's no excuse, Kelvin's a great guy, he's a tough kid, I think he's gonna go really far in the sport, and I'm happy for him.
Thanks. And just one final question, if I could, for Kat, please. Obviously, kind of a cool scene as you came in tonight. Looked like maybe some tears were flowing. You walked around and touched, every part of the cage and the octagon. What was going through your head as the fight was getting underway?
Stop crying. I was like, no. It was just really surreal. I was overwhelmed definitely by the opportunity. I knew I would be excited. I knew that it was going to be amazing, but I don't think I had any idea how much it would impact me from the inside out. And it just felt great. It felt really, really special to me tonight. This moment will be hard to top.
Right there. Yep.
Hey, Misha, obviously you were going pretty hard at her, over 2 rounds. Did you think that she'd, over here, sorry, did you think that she'd be able to take those strikes, and did you just kind of run out of gas there at the end?
No, I believe she'd be able to.
Sorry. I mean, I knew Kat was going to be an incredibly tough fight, so, it didn't surprise me that she didn't go down with that. It didn't surprise me that she didn't tap. I mean, I was expecting an all-out war all 3 rounds, and that's what we got.
I guess then I'll follow up for Kat. You know, now that you're the coach, you know, has that sunk in yet that you're going to be, in a few weeks, you'll be starting taping and on everything else?
First thing I did after the fight was go and call my son. And he asked me how I did, and I told him that I won. And he's like, so we get to go to Vegas? And they have a lot of swimming pools there, right? I was like, yeah, we get to go to Vegas. And he's like, and that means you finally get to fight Ronda Rousey, right? And I was like, yeah, we get to fight Ronda Rousey. You know, so it's just, it's surreal. It's a really good feeling. And this is exactly what I wanted, and it's happening exactly the way I expected. And well, I guess not the way I expected, but you know, things are happening the way they should, and it just feels great.
Question is for Misha. Misha, did you feel the stoppage was somewhat early?
I do, but you know, I just know how I felt inside the cage. I haven't had a chance to actually go back and watch it, but you know, Kate came in and told me before we ever left the locker room that if I warn you to move, all I need to know is that you want to stay in the fight. And I felt that I did that. I got from the bottom up. I got cut kneed a few times on the way, tried to shoot another shot, and the fight was stopped. I didn't feel like I was out of the fight, but you know, what can I say?
And for both Uriah and Scott, you've trained together before, but training is training, fight is fight. To both of you, what was different in there tonight versus training?
I guess just the cruel intention, you know, like in practice you're always looking out for each other's best interests, and I could feel he was trying to knock me out, which he told me afterwards, and I was trying to do the same. So, I mean, I got rocked a couple times, solid punches in there, and it's just a different intensity level. Live fight versus practice is so much different. So it's just tough.
Yeah, it's just the intensity level. You know, I think midway through that first, Uriah hit me with a knee to the chest, and I was like, oh, he's trying to take my head off. So, but you know, it was fun nonetheless. You know, I want a rematch whenever he's ready. we already said it in the cage. You know, hopefully it's for a belt, but. You know, I had a blast out there. I was trying to take his head off. He was trying to take mine off. I made a small mistake. I grabbed the wrong hand, and he finished his choke. So, you know, hats off to him. He's my buddy. And we're headed to mix here in, like, what, an hour?
Yeah. some beverages.
Quick follow-up for Kat, if I could, please. Kat, surprisingly, afterwards, you admitted that you were scared, actually, of Misha. Can you kind of give us some insight on that? And do you have that same kind of fear of Ronda? Is it a healthy fear? I mean, what is that about?
Absolutely healthy fear. I think to say you're not frightened, you know, going into a fight is there's a border between being cocky and being confident, you know, and I like to say a little bit, I like to be confident, you know, absolutely not cocky, and I like to have that healthy fear of my opponents. You know, it keeps me on my toes, it keeps my camps, you know, relatively stressful for me, but it makes me continue to always be really hard on myself and always strive for the best. You know, I always start strong and finish stronger. I hate when I leave the gym knowing I could have done something more, and it's just something for me that, you know, it drives me to put myself in situations that I'm not comfortable in, and it always ends up being something that I have the opportunity to figure out and get through, and then I have another goal and a personal accomplishment to make, you know. So it's all positive. It's all positive fear, but it's something that feeds me and fuels me for sure.
If I could, please, for Travis. If there was one move I didn't think you'd open with, it was a high kick. Was that part of the game plan? Did you feel? I thought you'd be kind of afraid of that after last time.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go out there and show everybody my hamstring is just fine. And you know, he was quick on that shot, and he got in as I was throwing my kick. And yeah, just you know, it was part of my game plan. I saw when Rothwell went southpaw with him, he was really confused, and a lot of stuff opened up on Gabriel Gonzaga when a righty went southpaw, and I think that's one of the reasons why he shot so early and just committed everything to it, is because, you know, you confuse people when you start switching stances and you have different attacks from different angles.
And can you talk us through the finish? Obviously, spectacular finish there against the cage. Some people were saying, were some of those elbows maybe illegal? Did it, you know, hit the back of the head? Was there any concern that maybe you were connecting to the back of the head, or do you feel it was a clean finish?
No, I remember hitting him with one, and the referee was right there. I could kind of see him staying off, and he didn't say anything. So I hit him with 2 more, and by that time he was done, and I just kind of like stopped. You know, I didn't feel him fighting it anymore. So I just, you know, I try to be respectful in the cage, and you know, if I know that somebody can't defend themselves, I'm not going to take advantage of that.
And last one for you, Travis. What do you want next, man? I know how disappointed you were after the last loss. This is a big win. I mean, are you a contender now? Are you looking for top level guys? Are you still a prospect? I mean, where do you feel like you're at in your career right now?
You know, I think I'm starting to get some of the recognition that I may not have gotten before, and I think it's due. I think I've put in some of my time. I think what's this, like my 6th or 7th fight in the UFC, and you know, I'm coming off of 1 loss in my career. And yeah, I think it's time for me to start moving up and get those shots like, you know, Silva and some of the guys in the top 10. And you know, if that doesn't put me in the top 10, I'm sure I'll be there shortly.
Question for Misha, over to your left. I haven't seen this for myself, so correct me if I'm wrong on this, but did you tweet? Is there a photo floating around of your hand actually touching the mat as you were kneed? Did I get that right?
Yep, there is. I mean, it all happened so fast in the fight. I don't really recall. You know, I didn't consciously think it was illegal, but someone sent me a picture and was like, the first knee, you were on your hands and knees and you were going to get up. She kneed you on your way up. Your hand was still clearly on the ground, and they sent me a picture, and I was like, oh, I guess that's a valid point.
There is an instant replay process in Nevada. Is that an angle that you explore at all, or is that just kind of like the way the fight goes and you'll move on?
Oh, I mean, I'd like to see it, but I mean, I don't think it's going to change the results. You know what I mean? I'm pissed, to say the least. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not happy, and I mean, fuck, I still feel like I was in the fight. I don't, for 1 second, feel like, you know, that it should have been stopped. You know, but I'm a fighter. I wanted to keep fighting, and you know, I came out really strong those first 2 rounds. I felt excellent. She's pretty heavy from top position, but she told me to show me something. I don't know what you want. You know, I sat up, I shot a double, I got back to my feet. I took some damage because of that, because I was trying to listen to the referee. And she fucking stopped the fight. What do you want, you know?
And then, Kat, if you don't mind, would you mind talking about that sequence with the knee? I'm sure that it wasn't intentional, but was that something you were aware of, that her hand was down? Can you kind of talk about that sequence?
I have no idea what we're talking about, to be honest. Like, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and it always happens, you know, like, I wish we could show me the fight before we do any of this stuff, because I really go in there, and it's kind of like, I remember little bits and pieces of the fight, but I don't have a whole sequence of things that happen at all. Like, I wish I would be able to see the fight, and then we could do these press conferences so I could go over and give you better, legitimate answers. I don't feel like whatever we're talking about is what won me the fight. You know, I think that I won. I think I went and I kneed her. I think that her face shows it. You know, I think no doubt in my mind that was my fight. I came back and I finished strong, and I don't have any excuses for how I did tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Kat, if you could please. I noticed that during the weigh-ins and the stare down and all of that, you seemed a little bit nervous, like you were almost shaking. What switch was flipped for you that got you to turn into that animal instinct when you got into the octagon?
There's a lot of switches in me that get flipped, you know. My day-to-day routine is a constant back and forth. You know, I go from being a mom to a fighter to a wife to a mentor to a coach, you know. So there's a lot of things that go on in me where I have a lot of different roles to play. And, you know, when I was getting ready in the back tonight, I was walking around and I was thinking, you know, my mom died in 2005, and I was on a pretty rough path before she died. And when she did die, I promised her I was going to take my life to good things, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no idea what I was talking about, but that I was going to make her proud and not to worry about me, and it was okay to go. And, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about my son. I'm always thinking about, you know, I need to protect him. I need to keep him safe. And I really had this kind of maternal instinct kind of going on, and you know, H.E.A.T represented a big bad bear, and I'm out there, you know, saving his life, and my My mom's death definitely pushed me in a way where I wanted to have a positive outcome with my life, and this is how it came to fruition. I'm here, I'm in the UFC, I'm fighting people for a way to support myself and my family, and plus it's fun, you know, it's a really good outlet, and it helps me deal with definitely my switches you guys are seeing go on, you know. So it was it's just a constant switch back and forth in this world, you know. I'm a really friendly person. I'm very approachable. I enjoy meeting new people. I like having fun getting to know all of you. But then all of a sudden, you know, I'll have critics. Then all of a sudden there's someone standing across the cage from me that wants to hurt me, and someone that wants to take something from me. And these are all things that, you know, really takes a lot of tough skin and mental toughness to get through. And you know, every single one of these moments was a new moment for me. I've never experienced the things that I've experienced this week going through the UFC and getting ready for a fight here. And you know, like I said, it's an experience that will be hard to top. It was a really good one.
Yes. And Kelvin, for you, you had said that Uriah was a friend of yours, and it was going to be very difficult for you to find a reason to hate him, to go into the octagon and do the damage that you did. But what for you mentally went into this fight and being able to overcome that?
Yeah, you know, during the show he was a great friend, and we trained together a lot. My preparation for this fight mentally, you know, he's trying to take something that I think I deserve, and that's something that I earned here tonight, and that's how I go into the fight. You know, he's trying to take something that I got, and you know, I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me.
One more question.
For Uriah, seems like you have 2 rematches to ranch. Which one would you rather want, Dom or Barra?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
135.
I don't care. I'm doing this because I love it. I do whatever these guys say. Johnny Cash over here, all in black, and basically whatever these guys want.
Liz Carmouche fighting.
That's what we were talking about earlier when we first walked in. But of course, I'd rather punch Dominic in the face, but Barao is one of the guys that has earned a spot. I mean, the guy's on the biggest win streak in UFC history, and I feel like, you know, it was an uneventful fight last time. I'd like to make it more eventful. That means getting a little bit more crazy in there. He did a good job of slowing me down last time. Dom was actually moves a lot more, but was easier for me to hit and do damage to than Barao. And so I don't know. It's one of those things. I'll probably fight both of them eventually, anyways. So I'm just gonna kick back and relax and reminisce about the good old days tonight with Scotty, and hopefully I'll meet him in the finals for a belt someday.
And lastly, for Kat, you have Ronda sitting right in front of you. Anything you want to tell her before the show starts?
Good luck.
Yeah, John Morgan wants to ask one more question. Thanks, John.
Just wanted to keep you longer. I apologize. I just want to ask about the glove. I know this has been kind of a long journey for you to get to this point. Tell us how you're feeling now after such a convincing win.
Do I still have a job? That's kind of where I'm at. Is, you know, I just want to be in this organization. You know, fight for the UFC. It's been a long road. You know, I've had a long career before I even got here. You know, and the Ultimate Fighter wasn't too kind to me, I don't think. You know, so I feel like it's time for me to go out and show some skill that I haven't been able to showcase yet.
You mentioned that the Ultimate Fighter wasn't kind. I mean, do you feel like you were portrayed unfairly, or you just had a rough experience? What was it?
No, I mean, my body tried to kick my own ass. You know, so I mean, I was in the worst mental and physical state my body's ever been in. You know, I broke down in more than one way. So you know, just the house, being a big guy, you know, fighting at 85, and it went in there. It took a toll on me.
Good. Okay, we're gonna get Rhonda and Kat up here and square them off for photo ops. Thank you all for coming tonight. We appreciate it.
I don't know what it was. I watched you stumble and I was like, oh. Kick off the heel.
That blew it. Thank you. Thank you. Stand shoulder to shoulder.
Right here in the middle, please. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.